Hello, everyone. This is my week 8 recap, and there wasn't a whole lot of elaborate things that happened, but it did come to the realization of something that I could use to verify um, what I'm seeing, if it is correct or not. And I just started using something from my work. So for me, since I work in MRI, I have been utilizing the first patient of the day because although I could, I normally don't ever look at the following day's schedule. Just because it can change, once I leave work, it can change the next day. So for me, that's a real good uh, thing that I could use as something that I can verify, if I'm in the correct, I guess, either in the correct state of consciousness for this, or at least give me practice in utilizing this state of consciousness. Again, it becomes a little difficult, uh, to figure out which one of those you need to do. Maybe you're there and you just are just having difficulty interpreting the data, and so this gives you that experiment to be able to figure out what that data means to you, because then maybe in these states of consciousness, your intellectual mind wants to make it into something that it's not what it really is trying to tell you, I guess. I mean, it's almost like deciphering a language that you don't understand. You're trying to figure out what things are. Um, and it's also, this is pretty good because it's very humbling because when you get things wrong, um, you just have to live with the fact that, okay, I wrote down what I saw and it was wrong. Okay, it's wrong. So it's another little thing that can humble you, I guess. So I'll just start real quickly because most of these are pretty quick. First one, I was, and again, I didn't have a whole lot going on outside of those experiments. So the first one, I tried to predict the first patient of the day, and for me, I thought it was something wrong with the person's left foot. It was incorrect, and I was on the 17th. 18th, I couldn't diagnose the person. I didn't see anything wrong with the person at all. And so I thought, boy, I'm just sucking at this. But actually, when the patient came in, to be honest, there wasn't a whole lot wrong with that person. They had a surgery a long time ago on a pineal gland uh, thing, and some type of surgery that they had, and it was just something that they would just periodically monitor every couple years. So in reality, he was coming in and there really wasn't anything wrong with him, and he was actually even questioning whether he should just continue to pay this large amounts of money for these MRIs when he's feeling fine, he doesn't have any problems. So that one actually may have been correct, might have. The next day, this one was one of those ones where it very similar to my Monroe Institute experience, where it was just, it was kind of that aha moment, that's what that meant. Or, I mean, it was just an experience that I was just starting to realize this is possible, I guess. And, again, for me, it's possible. It's still, I wouldn't say definitive proof, but it's enough to get you curious to want to do more. So on the 19th, I just wanted to see what was wrong with person, because that's usually how I do it, is just, diagnose health and everything. And, I picture a person, a little outline of a person, and I have a color scheme that, this is healthy and this is not healthy. Well, as I was doing that, all of a sudden I saw this fuzzy, weird thing on the top of his head. It was so strange. It was like, it almost looked like for me, it looked like a barbed wire, almost like Jesus' little wreath that was on his head during his crucifixion. I mean, it looked strange. It wasn't like that at all, but because it was just like this fuzzy lightning type thing, but it wasn't in the body. It was just on the outside, and it was just real strange, and I didn't understand. I'm like, what the heck is that? I wasn't sure if they were having seizures or anything like that. That's where your intellectual mind starts to come in and can kind of corrupt the data, because then you're trying to figure out what that is instead of just saying, what you saw. And so that's part of the thing where I'm saying that I got to work on right there, because I knew that's what I did. As soon as I started seeing it, I'm like, what is that? What is that? A seizure? What are you trying to tell me? And I'm trying to decipher the data. But I wrote down exactly what I saw. It was just like this fuzzy, weird thing that was over the head, like this halo-like thing. Well, when first patient of that day, when I called them, they had the strangest. It was the most bizarre cowboy-like hat thing that I've ever seen. It was this weird straw-like hat, and it was just odd looking, very weird. I never seen something like that before. I mean, it wasn't your normal little cowboy hat thing. It was very, he's stuck out like a sore thumb. Let's put it that way. And so I couldn't help but to make the connection that, shoot, I saw that weird thing over the person's head, and now I'm seeing him with this, this hat thing that just really sticks out for me. It was just one of those things where both of them were things that were sticking out for me. And although it wasn't what I was asking for, which was a health scheme, I didn't get any data on his health. It was something that was peculiar, and again, when I verified it, it was something peculiar. So again, interesting correlation right there. So again, for myself, I got to get in the habit of not analyzing what I see, and that's the hard part. Is your ego mind wants to analyze it, wants to figure out what you're seeing, and it's going to be something that I'm just going to have to continue to work on. The next day, on the 20th, I saw this person, and I thought it was something with their left leg, and something was up with it. It was just, I couldn't figure out what was going on with the left leg. That person did have an old injury that they had surgery on their left foot, although that was not what they were coming in for. It was actually an old injury that they had surgery on to repair it. So I actually consider that a miss, even though I did guess that. But people come in with all sorts of injuries and things like that. So, if I wanted to make it like it was true, I guess you could, but I consider that a miss. I consider that that's not something that came out true. It's the weekend, so on 21st, sometimes I've been getting these weird, vivid dreams early in the morning where I'm like half meditating, half dreaming. And there was one that I had where, again, I was getting this strange pamphlet. It was really bizarre, and it probably is just talking a little bit about something I'm going through, where I ended up getting this strange pamphlet, and I had to bring it back to somewhere, to some person. And I was gonna have to travel back a long way to bring it back. And I knew that there was other people that were in the process of trying to take it away from me, and I wanted to make copies of this pamphlet or something. Um, so, and finally, some people did come and get it, and um, there's one person I trusted that I did give it to, and they started to copy it, I guess. And then there was another person that came, and they, for some reason, uh, I perceived them as somebody that wanted to take it away. And so I took it back real quick, and I apologized to the person that I initially gave it to, because I just it's my natural instinct to just take it back, like, you're not going to take this away from me, because it was really hard to get to. And there was somebody else in the corner, I don't know what it was, and had made a comment about the fact that I don't know why they said something about my character about that. And I took offense to that, and I, went ahead and, told them, I don't know what I ended up telling them, but it was something to the effect that I felt like I was well deserving of that, because it was really a pain in the butt to get. And so I don't know what that meant, but it was just strange, strange little vivid dream. 20 seconds, there was really nothing much. 23rd, I did a little experiment, and again, for whatever reason, I saw the right leg was messed up. That was incorrect. And the only other real big thing is in the morning of this morning, I had a real vivid. Again, I've been having these real vivid dreams or something, and I had this vivid dream that Carlos Condit was going to win his fight against Nick Diaz, and that because I was watching his little post interview, and I couldn't help but to think about it. When I was watching, I was like, God, man, this looks so real. And I felt like I was in like the future probability zone. I was just, watching the future outcome, and I was curious how he won. But it seemed like it was a decision, because he was saying that it was. I remember him saying on the interview that he felt like Diaz had, he had earned Diaz's respect, I guess, after that long, hard fought win. Again, don't know if that, is true. That's part of the things that come with the ego mind. Ego wants to be right. I don't know if that's right or not, but I saw it, and that's why I just figure I'd go ahead and mention it on the video. If it's right, it's right. If it's not, it's not. It's not really that important. The important thing is just to try to be as true to the data. And I think that's what I'm really starting to learn here, is just to try to stick with what you see, and try not to make too much more of it. So a little bit longer video than I wanted to make, but that's it for this week. So again, thanks for watching, and take care.